students, welcome to class today. I believe you are fine and you are enjoying your online studies. Okay, today we will continue our lesson from our previous week. We are still looking at odd and even numbers. Last week we learned what is an odd number and what is an even number. Okay, so an odd number is any number that when you divide by 2 you have a remainder of 1. And then an even number is a number that when you divide by 2 there is no remainder. Okay, so this is the meaning of odd numbers and that of an even numbers. Today what we're going to do is we're going to find out how easy we can identify big numbers to be an even number or an odd number, because sometimes you might be confused if the number is big. Let's say if it's around hundreds, thousands, it is sometimes difficult to know if it's an even number or an odd number. Okay, so we're going to learn the easiest way possible to determine if a number is an odd number or if a number is an even number. So join me on the board to see how it goes. First of all, we know that odd numbers are numbers that when you divide by 2, it has a remainder of 1. Okay, so we're going to use our counting numbers, which is our first 10 digits, which is 0 to 9. That is our first 10 digits, 0 to 9, 10 digits. So within that 10 digits, we have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. That will help you to know if a number is an odd number. How do you know from these digits? Whenever you have a larger number or a big number and the number ends, the last digits of that big number ends with 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9. It means that that big number is an odd number. Okay? So let me take it again with you. Whenever you have a larger number or a big number and you want to know if that number is an odd number, just check the last digits. If the last digits, which is the end digits, is 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9, that number is an odd number. I hope you get that one. Okay. Now, how do you know a number is an even number? Okay, we use the same strategy, checking the last digits. So if the digits that ends is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, it means that that particular number that you are dealing with is an even number. This is the easiest, quickest, fastest way you can always use to determine big numbers, either they are even or they are odd numbers. So whenever you have this in mind, it's very easy for you to check your numbers to be known if they are even or they are odd numbers. We have 2 examples here that we'll go through for you to understand how we can use these numbers to determine an odd number or an even number. Our exercise here is to circle all even numbers. Okay, so we have numbers here that we're going to circle all even numbers. The clue is that our last digits, if it is 0, 2, 4, 7, 6 or 8, it means that number is an even number. Okay, so now let's start. We have 142, which is 142, so it ends with 2. So once it ends with 2, it means this number is an even number, so we can circle this one. We have 157, so 7 is in the category of odd numbers, so which means that we cannot circle this one. It becomes what? An odd number. This ends with 3, so 3 is odd. It belongs to the odd, so we cannot. 196, we have 6 here and 6 here, so this is even. We have 2, 3, 5. 5 is in the odd, so we cannot circle this one. Okay, so within this line we have 142, 916 to be even numbers. okay, to be even numbers. So that is how it goes. So let's look at this. We have 5 odd, we have 4 which is even, so we have to circle. We have 1 which is odd, we have 0 which is even, so we circle. We have 4, 2, 2, 2 is here. Very easy. So with this one, it's very easy for you to always find out even and odd numbers. On this part, we move to our activity for the day, which is task 1. So task 1 is very similar to how we did this one, but the only difference is that we're going to write even or odd to complete this statement. So if you look at your number here, if it is even, you put even here. If it is odd, you put odd here. The same way to this one. So this is 91. 91, we have 1 ending, so which means our 1 is at the odd section. So what we have to do is we have to put odd there. We have 330, so we have 0 which is even. So what we have to do is we have to put even there. So you do the rest for your activities and then you send for me to check. Thank you for joining this session. I'll see you in our second video. Goodbye. Students, welcome to our second section on our lesson, odd and even numbers. On our first video, we learned the quickest and the easiest way that we can identify odd numbers and that of even numbers when we are dealing with big or large numbers. And what we have on our board, it shows the strategy or the ways that we can always know our even and that of our odd numbers. Okay, on this section we will do our second activity, but on our second activity we're not going to deal with straight away figures. We're going to deal with word problems, because sometimes you have word problems that you have to fish out, or you have to determine your even numbers or your odd numbers, and how do we handle this situation. Okay, so I have an example here of a word problem which we're going to go through, and then I'll send you the other questions for task 2. So example, it says that which number is added to an odd number to get even number. So it means that you have an odd number already. And which of these possible numbers can you add up? When we say add, it means plus. So which of these numbers here can you possibly add up to get an even number? So which one do you think is correct? Is it A, B, or C? So these are the questions that you're going to find in task 2. It is up to you to choose the correct answer to complete your statement. So looking at this one, which number here can we choose to add to an odd number to give us an even number? Is it 1, 2, or 10? Already, 1 is an odd number, 2 is an even number, and 10 is also an even number. So when you add these even numbers to an odd number, it will still give you an odd number. So the best thing, or the correct answer here, is 1, because we know our odd number will always give us a remainder 1 when we divide by 2. So 1 is the right number that we can choose to add to an odd number, so that that number can tend to become an even number. So our correct answer here becomes 1. You have questions of this nature for task 2, and I believe that with this example you're going to get all your scores correct. See you in our third video. Goodbye. Welcome back to the final section of today's class. Our lesson is on odd numbers and that of even numbers. In the beginning, we started by saying the meaning of an odd number, which is a number that when you divide by 2, you have a remainder of 1. And then even numbers are numbers that when you divide by 2, it has no remainder. Again, how do you identify that this big number is an even number or an odd number? These are the strategies that we also learned today, how to identify large numbers to be odd numbers or even numbers. We always look at the last digits of that number. If the last digit is having 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, it means that that particular number is an odd number. If your number is having the last digits, which is the end digits, to be 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8, it means that that particular number too is an even number. With these two clues, it's very easy for you to always identify what is an odd number and what is an even number. To close our lesson today, we will have a homework which is also going to be in a form of a word problem. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to form odd numbers and that of even numbers depending on the instruction of the question that you have. So example, if you have like 2, 8, 5, the question can ask you to form, let's say, the greatest or the biggest possible odd number that you can find or form out of these 3 digits. Okay, so you have to determine the possible big number that you can form out of this. But the instruction says that odd number, so which means the biggest possible number that you form with these 3 digits should be an odd number. If the instruction says that form an even number, it means that you use these 3 digits to form an even number. So please read your question very well and know what is demanded of you before you go ahead to create or to form your numbers. Thank you for joining class today, and I'll see you again next week. Stay home and be safe.